Hi folks, I'm going to do a little video. It's Friday night, so I'm going to try and do this relatively quick about the best guitar I have, which is this Ibanez Egen18tvm, which is basically an S series. As you see, this one was designed by Herman Li from Dragonforce, and this is a made in Japan Team J Craft Ibanez from 2009. The model was released in late 2009. This one in particular, according to the serial number, was made in February 2009, so kind of pre-launch, which makes it a little bit special for me. Now, this to me is more versatile than an Ibanez Gem, which is there. That's the Korean made one, but same DiMarzio pickups as the Japanese Gem. I've had a Japanese Gem, I've had the Indonesian Floral Premium as well. This I rate above them all. Now, it's mainly because of sounds and sound choice, and not for your flat out shred Dragonforce stuff as you'll be expecting. Because this has your standard 5-way blade, humbucker, single humbucker. Same as a Gem. DiMarzio pickups, not quite the same as a Gem. These are only available in this guitar, allegedly, but I think they're very close to an evolution. But this comes with a coil split, which allows you to have, according to this, gives you 9 combinations of tones. And some of the split tones I prefer to the standard, and that's why this guitar is kind of my default. I'm going to play a gig, I don't know what I'm going to have to play. It could be anything from Metallica to Leonard Skinner to Pink Floyd to Radiohead or whatever. Not that I like doing that very much. I prefer playing 80s hair metal. That's why I've got a Kramer Pacer, which I'll discuss at some point. However, as a guitar to do all, this is my kind of go-to tool. And these were pretty expensive. I think about €3,500 or €4,000 when they came out. I didn't pay that for it. Beautiful. I'll just try and zoom in a bit. First of all, we'll start up here. It's got the bullet type truss rod adjuster, which is by far the best. It's so easy with the kind of Gibson style wrench and turn. It has go-to tuners, Team J Craft there, which is a nice little touch. A nice volute, three-piece maple with 2 pieces of something, don't know what, didn't really pay much attention to it. And lovely trim. It's not the same trim as on the Gem, because this one, if I pull out the bar, these don't have the little plastic rings. It's a spring, like a spring clip in there, almost like a kind of pincering circlip. So you put the bar in and it clicks in place. Now you got to think, this is now, we're heading into 2024. This will soon be, what, 14-year-old guitar? 15-year-old guitar? And the trim stays exactly where I want it. Doesn't move. Doesn't make any noise. Doesn't really rattle much either. 2 massive springs in the trim. It came with 2 others, which is like the 0-point system that Ibanez use on a lot of guitars. I took off the 2 extra springs because, unlike Herman, I don't want this to be rock solid. I want a little bit of warble. Whereas with them, with their alternate picking, they don't want the trem bar to flutter and go whirr. Actually, that sounds like a Dragonforce drum beat. Anyway, it's also, like the gem, if I go close up here, the last 4 frets, if you can see that, are scalloped. So, the important thing for me, S-Series, lovely and slim, lovely and comfortable to play. The balance of that guitar, really nice, especially if I don't stand on the cable. Come with beautiful gold buttons for the strap, of which I've now long since taken off, and they're sitting in a box somewhere behind me, because I tend to always use the DiMarzio clip lock straps. They just work for me, always have, and I'm very happy with those. This also has got, unlike an S-Series, it's got a cutaway at the back, which is the correct place to put a cutaway, because you can put your hand in and get to the highest fret. No bother at all. No bother at all. And it's got Herman Li's his version of his monkey grip thing, and it's safe to say he's got much smaller hands than me, because that just does not work for me. But it's a nice little carving, it's a nice little feature. It makes it that little bit different. All gold hardware, nice little inlays, kind of abalone inlays. The fretwork isn't the same as the modern ones. It doesn't have that circle polishing of the edges of the frets, but the fretwork is beautiful. And these are all original frets. I tend to play with quite light strings, quite a low action, so I'm not sore on frets at all. So, sounds, 7 minutes in. Because I'm wanting to let you hear this actual pickup sound, I'm going to use a clean tone for most of this video. So, yeah, if you want to hear Dragonforce and ultra processed, super high gain, and with, I think it's Axe effects they'll probably use, or plugins, go listen to some Dragonforce. I'm going to use the Bugera because it's got a clean channel. The Jet City doesn't do clean particularly well, and I've added in my old Boss SE50 from 1991. It's in the effects loop just to give me a bit of reverb, because I'll be playing the same kind of monotonous little riff over and over again. So, bridge humbucker, all DiMarzio, nice and clear. And when I coil split it, it's just a single coil. So basically it turns a kind of Les Paul sound, that humbucker you know, into almost a Telecaster. So yeah. Humbucker. Didn't expect that sort of stuff out of a Herman Li guitar. But yeah, it does that kind of nice clean, you know, that's good enough for most gigs if you want to get away with a kind of country-ish sound. But also if you're using a bit of gain, that makes it quite spanky as well. It's punchy. Position 2. Doesn't matter what I do with the coil, split tap, phase, whatever it is. It's the same. Maybe a little bit more. There's a little difference. It's very subtle though. But yeah. Let you hear the position 2. Position 2 is there. little difference. Okay, position 3 is for me the most interesting one, the middle pickup on its own, the single coil. Now in my gem, or on, I've got an RG that's an HSH as well, I never use the middle pickup. It just does not inspire me. I've got two RGs actually. I've got one with the True Velvet, one with the Gem, and one with Ibanez's own. That's right. The True Velvet's quite nice, but this I find much more inspiring. Now in the standard position, it's to me as lifeless as most of the other middle pickup Ibanez tones. That just, it's the unloved middle child. It's just a bit flat, a bit lifeless somehow. But whatever the coil split thing does with this, it turns it into a nice, crisp, lively, jangly. So yeah, that I love. I think that's a fantastic. It's just got a really nice, crisp spankiness to it, but yeah. Position 4 is your standard kind of stratty, Hendrixy, Stevie Ray Vaughan-y kind of sound that I just kind of bluff my way through bluesy stuff. I'm not really a very bluesy player. And coil splitting it just takes a little bit of the bottom end off that. So again, in a gig situation, sometimes you just want a little bit more clarity. I keep saying that in almost every video, you know, less bass, more mid-range, a bit more clarity, a bit more punch, but yeah, it's true, it's just, you've got this, or, very subtle, again, different voicing, again something you don't get in the gems. And the neck position, the humbucker. So your normal humbucker position, as you know, big round rolling tones. Split it and it becomes purely a neck single coil. I am aware that most people will be saying, but this is a Dragonforce guitar. It's actually just a really versatile instrument. And what I would suggest is, if you find this quite interesting and the sounds appealing, go Google the wiring schematics out there. And if you have a coil splitting volume pod and a standard Ibanez guitar with ideally with DiMarzio pickups, but anything with the 4 cable humbuckers, you can add this circuit in. And it's very discreet, doesn't change the look of your guitar, you're not drilling any holes, and you have 9 sounds just with your 5-way blade and the pull push pod. Personally, I would like it to be a push push. I really like those. Anyway, we'll go and do a little bit of crunchy gain because I know. That's your bridge pickup. Just brighten it up a bit, it's a little bit dark there. Yesterday I was playing the guitar with only the single humbucker and it was just too sharp as it was. So bear with me a sec, I'll just move this back a touch so you can at least see the guitar a bit better, and my knees, which maybe is not a good thing, I'm nearing 50. So standard rock sound, no boosts on, just the crunch channel. Now, if I just coil split that, you hear the buzz come in because it's no longer a humbucker. Humbucker, single coil. However, humbucker, single coil. So yeah, even with gain on it, you can tell the difference clear as day. That middle one, there we have that standard middle sound, a little bit sharper. Everything else you'll know straightforward, but we'll go to the neck, and again you can hear that as a net sound. That's in humbucker mode, single coil. So a huge amount of sounds all at your fingertips. I'll not go on too long. Great guitar. Really, really nice. If you can find them, I think they're quite rare. I've really not seen any for sale for a long, long time. They do a budget version. Budget being it was the Indonesian made kind of premium level. So easily, I think they were about 800 euros when they were new. These were the best part of 3,500. But if it's anything like my other kind of premium guitars, it's still an excellent guitar to play. Spend a little bit more time setting them up. Lovely guitar. Anyway, I'll just do a little blast with an SD1 on and the humbucker just because it's really nice and a bit fun, and have a good day. If you see these, yeah, definitely get one, but certainly try and find the wiring schematic, and if you've got a 5-way humbucker, single humbucker guitar, and adding that coil split, those 9 tones turn what should be just a heavy metal shred monster into an all-round working tool for anything at all. Thank you. I'll have something for you soon. Bye bye.